tip on. Welcome back. Okay, so welcome to possibly your first Tending the Wounds of Racialised Trauma session. So this session is going to be about 60 minutes long, so about an hour long, and we'll go through all of the processes which you may have already watched 3 of the videos about arriving, checking in and somatic inquiry, and then moving on into physical postures, and then finally moving into tending the wounds, and then closing the session out. So you might like to, if you haven't already got one, you might like to pause the video right now and go and get yourself your journal and your pen, because you're going to need these when we come to the somatic inquiry. Obviously your yoga mat and your space in which you feel safe and comfortable and won't be disturbed for the next sort of 60 minutes. And then if you like, come to a comfortable seated posture. If you need to lean against a wall or something like that, then that's fine. You can also, if you prefer, lay on your back for this element, but you might want to have your soles of your feet placed on the floor so your knees are bent. So whatever works for you, whatever's comfortable for you. And once you've found a comfortable seat, we'll begin our practice. And so we first take the time to arrive, and I invite you to invite your mind to arrive to this practice. And the invitation here is to set an intention or two. And the intentions I'd like to offer you is first to be awake and attentive to your practice and your experience. So just bringing that to mind, and noticing how that lands for you in the body, noticing any micro adjustments that the body makes when you bring to mind the intention to be awake and attentive to your practice and your experience. What might that look like? And the other intention that I would invite you to set, again to bring the mind to fully arrive into this practice, is a willingness to lean in towards that which might be mentally or emotionally uncomfortable, and see how that lands for you in your body. So bringing the intention to mind that you are willing to lean into that which might be a little bit uncomfortable emotionally and mentally as we tend the wounds of racialised trauma. So we really begin to slow things down at this point. We pause. And we start to let go of the urgency that is often associated with all trauma, and particularly racialised trauma. slowing things down, fully arriving. You may even have your own intention for this practice that you'd like to bring to mind, and at this point feel free to do so. Also noticing how your intention lands for you in your body. And now I'd like to invite you to begin the process of checking in. So if you'd like, you can maybe place a hand on the heart and one hand on the belly, or maybe both hands on the heart or both hands on the belly, wherever feels comfortable for you, or just leave them resting in your lap. Whatever works for you in this moment, and each moment it may be different. So as we begin to check in, first we're going to check in literally with our physical body. Maybe just becoming aware of any tension in the muscle, constriction in the tissue, tightness in the joints. We can either scan from the crown down, working systematically, or from the soles of the feet upwards, also working systematically. Just going through each muscle mass, joint area. Or we can allow our attention to guide us as it moves through to different parts of the body, maybe drawn by a sense of tightness or contraction or constriction. And wherever we feel any sense of holding on, simply by noticing, we can maybe have a sense of letting go and relaxing that tension. And even though you're sitting, you can allow for some gentle movement to arise in this process of relaxing and softening and loosening as we check into the body, the physical muscle and tissue. And maybe now just moving towards noticing our breath. How is our breath? Is it shallow, erratic, static? And if you want to make any adjustment at this point, you might want to start just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, if that's available to you. Maybe this changes the rhythm and pace of the breath. And if you feel to, and it's also available, see if you can check in with your heart rate, or maybe even the movement of the blood through your veins. Maybe you feel this in the chest, you maybe hear it in the head. Maybe you literally have a somatic sense of it through the body. So just simply noticing. And so that's our first layer that we've checked into in terms of the body. Now let's check in with the next layer of our beingness, the heart-mind layer. noticing the quality of our emotions, noticing the energy, if you like, of our thought stream. Is it busy? Is it just okay? Or is it a little bit dull? Maybe we're zoning out a little bit, long day at work or something like that. Maybe we've had a lot on, so we've got a lot of thoughts moving through. So not so much the content, it's just the quality of the thought stream. And the same again for the emotions, the quality of our emotional capacity. Are we well resourced? Might be a good question to ask. Am I feeling resourced enough to be engaging in this practice right now? Or maybe I'd be better served just maybe sitting out in nature, listening to the birds. Or maybe it's night time, staring up at the stars. How well resourced are you on an emotional level? Remember, the hand placement is optional, but it can also be a sense of a supporting, nurturing hand as we move through these processes. So from the heart-mind layer of our beingness, we move to our sense of vitality, the body of the pranic body, sekhem body, the body of vital energy. And just how vital are you feeling right now? Really up for this? Maybe you could do with just having a bit of a rest, a sleep. Just tune in. See if you can identify the energetic signature of your own vitality. And if you're not sure, maybe inviting an inquiry into that. What might it feel like to be in touch with my own sense of vitality? And when you invite that inquiry, maybe just noticing how that lands in your body. Remembering again, some gentle movement. If it naturally arises, just be with that, allow that to happen. You're not required to be in a statue-like posture right now. You allow any arising to express themselves. Whether that's a swaying, a rocking, whatever it might be. And having checked in with our sense of vitality, the energy body itself, maybe now seeing if you can actually settle into your still silent presence, that aspect of yourself that is unmoving and unchanging. Are you able to land there? Or are your attempts easily thwarted by the movements of thoughts, or emotions, or even physical pain within the body? How able are you to land in still silent presence? And maybe this is completely unfamiliar to you. So again, inquiring what does that really mean to be able to land in still silent presence? And when you inquire, notice what happens for you in your body. And we do a lot of noticing without adding judgment or narrative. So we don't create a story out of what we notice, we just simply notice and get curious. And maybe we come back to that again at some other point and notice again. And any insight that needs to arise. Have faith that it will arise for you. Okay, having arrived and checked in, just take a little moment, a little wiggle, maybe a little shake, raising up the arms, and maybe just pushing out to the side, creating a little bit of space for yourself, looking either side, and just take a moment also to orientate yourself to your space. Looking around, allowing the eyes maybe to pause for a little while on things which are maybe familiar to you in your space, but now you're seeing them with fresh eyes. And be fully present with that. And we're going to transition now from checking in to our somatic inquiry. So for this you'll need your journal available and your pen. And you might just want to put a reference point, so maybe the day and the date. And just preparing to begin. Just maybe shift around, make sure that you're comfortable. We're going to start moving soon, but first, this is quite an important aspect of the whole of the practice. Somatic inquiry, seeing if we can feel into racialized trauma, any particular wound that we might be experiencing right now. So again, optional, your choice. If you'd like to place a nurturing, compassionate hand of support, possibly on the heart, maybe on the belly, maybe both. And as I invite you to see if you can feel into a racialized traumatic wound, I'm also going to offer a somatic elicitation. And in this case, maybe if you would like to, and remember everything is always an invitation, just bring to mind maybe a recent microaggression which you experienced. As you bring it to mind, notice how this lands in your body. And then stay with the feeling, noticing what arose as you brought that microaggression to mind. And if you like, seeing if you can name that feeling. And again, pausing for a moment, going back to your journal and naming that feeling. Coming back to your posture, And from naming the feeling, also know if you can really locate it. Where is that feeling, or how is that feeling showing up for you? Where in the body is it showing up for you? Again, just pausing once you feel you've definitely got a lock on where it's arising for you in the body, and just recording that area. Again, just coming back to your posture. So having felt the feeling, labelled the feeling, located that wound, can you also feel into the sensations that are carried in that wound? So is it an ache, is it an acute pain, is it a fluttering of the heart, a restriction of the throat? Is it a stabbing pain in the gut? Just notice what the sensations are in the area that you've located as that wound shows up in the body. It may have a weight to it. And just again scribing in your journal what that is, how that feels. And there's no right or wrong here. This is about your inquiry and about your ability to learn to tune into the body, learn to recognise and feel into your racialised wounds with a view to tending them. And now finally, as part of this process, if you can get a sense of placing it on the hierarchy of survival stress, so is this feeling moving you towards a sense of needing to escape, flight, or a sense of needing to fight against it or something, or even a sense of functional freeze, a high energetic frozen state? Or is it moving you down towards a disassociation, a distanceness, a dorsal vagal state, collapse even? Is it very clearly moved in that direction or the other direction, or is it kind of somehow resting in within your social engagement, your ventral vagal window, and yet still there is a directionality to which it wants to move? If you can, place it on that hierarchy between flight, fight, freeze, collapse, and social engagement. And finally, just adding that also to your journal. And we'll come back to that at the very end of practice. So again, I just want to shake it out a little. Release in with some sound or not if you prefer, but releasing the breath, releasing the body, just doing whatever feels natural. Loosening the jaw, whatever really works for you. And as we now get ready to move into our physical practice, So if you're not sitting cross-legged, I'm going to invite you to sit cross-legged now. And just lengthen up through the spine. And again, just maybe placing one hand on the chest, one hand on the belly. And we're just going to feel into breathing a little bit deeper and a little bit longer here. In through the nose and out through the nose. Maybe feeling the movement of the breath through the hands. So as you inhale all the way down to the belly expands a little, the rib cage opens, and then the chest lifts, and you feel this in the movement of the hands. As you exhale, the chest drops, the rib cage closes, and just to give the breath a little assistance, you can pull the belly button gently towards the spine, so really engaging the diaphragm to exhale completely before inhaling again. Exhale completely, pulling the belly button towards the spine before inhaling again, feeling the belly expand, rib cage open, chest gently rise, and then the chest gently softens, rib cage closes, belly deflates, and you pull the belly button towards the spine. So find your own rhythm and pace with this. A depth that you're comfortable with on the inhalation, a length that you're comfortable with on the exhalation. But if you can, at least to the point where you feel very small movement in the hands, so that the hands become part of the breath. Maybe also allowing that movement to start to expand a little. So as you inhale, extend up through the spine, maybe the chin raises a little. As you exhale, the chin drops, we start to curve the spine. And we pull the belly button towards the back of the spine. And then as we inhale, so it's a gentle, sometimes called cat-cow. Flexion, extension of the spine. And of course the spine being the central highway for the nervous system, the peripheral nervous system, the main nervous system, the central nervous system, off which is the vagus nerve. Just bringing a little bit of movement and motion. And taking the last breath, maybe just coming to rest the hands on the knees. And then when you're ready, we're just going to start with some very slow rotations. Whichever direction seems natural to you, you're invited to start to move slowly. And gently, maybe if you like, building that movement up, so making the circle rotations a little bit larger. Leaning back, reaching forward with the chest, leaning back, reaching forward with the chest. Also bringing the breath into the awareness of this, so we exhale as we lean forward, inhale as we come back, exhale on the move forward, inhale as we come back. And then just starting to make those movements a little bit smaller again as we're moving around. Smaller and smaller. Until we come to a stop. Just pause here, relax the shoulders. Maybe just noticing again, just quickly scanning through our levels, through our muscle tension, through our breath. Maybe becoming aware of our heart, mind and the flow of thoughts and feelings. Maybe also noticing if we've got changes in our sense of vitality. And just spend a moment just to see if you can connect into your still silent presence. And then slowly, in the opposite direction, I'm inviting you to start to make some more circles. Starting small, no rush. Making them incrementally bigger, making the space more pronounced. Lean further back, reach further forward, really bringing the breath into the movement, exhaling as we reach forward, inhaling as we're coming back. And then again, starting to make those moves, those circles, a little bit slower, a little bit less pronounced, making them gently come into smaller and smaller, ever decreasing circles. And we do this until we eventually come to a stop. See if you can allow it to be a really natural progression down into stillness. Again, pausing. If you feel any tension anywhere, just have a sense of softening those areas. Notice how the breath is. Notice how the heart-mind is. Notice how your sense of vitality is. And just taking a moment to pause, feel into still silent presence. The moment between thoughts, or if it's more available, the moment between breaths. Very good. Now we're going to start to go in the opposite direction. We're going to, and including this, we're going to include the, if you like, a snake breath. You have two options. So as we move forward, we lead with the chin, tuck the chin, curve the back, we come back up on an inhale. We'll lead with the chin as we move forward, and we're going to exhale with the sound of shh, as in shoe. Or if you prefer the sound of s, like snake. Do this 7 more times. And coming back up to center. Relax. Relax the shoulders, relax the hands. Again, just taking a moment just to notice. We're always cultivating awareness in the practice of yoga. Union, Sima. So a gentle inhale through the nose. Exhale, turn the head to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turn the head to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, lower the head down, chin to chest. Inhale back to center. Exhale, allow the head to drop back slightly. Chin up. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turn the head to the left. Inhale, head back to center. Exhale, turn the head to the right. This is all done through the nose. Inhale back to center. Exhale, chin to the chest. Inhale, head back to center. Exhale, and slowly allowing the head to drop back, lift the chin up, open the throat. Inhale, head back to center. Pause in here for a moment. And again, an invitation for a gentle side neck stretch. So we're going to take our right hand and just bring it over towards the left ear, and then just allow the weight of the right arm to gently pull the head down towards the right shoulder. Just breathing here very gently. So feeling a nice stretch on the side of the neck on the left side. And then just allow the hand to slide over the head, coming to the right side of the head, and just nurse the head back onto centre. And we're going to do the opposite side, reaching over with the left hand to the right ear, and again just allowing the weight of the arm to draw the head over left ear towards left shoulder. Keep the body upright and straight. Just breathing here, feeling a nice stretch along the right side of the neck. You're not pulling, you're just allowing the weight to naturally bring the head over. Slide the hand to the left side, to the left ear, and again just naturally allowing the hand to just raise the head up onto centre and relax. I'm going to do this with the whole of the side body now. So we're going to come down towards the left side, reaching up with the right hand, reaching over to the left, extend up through the spine, bring the right hand over now to lean towards the right side, lifting the left hand up, and again stretching over towards the right, feeling this left side body opening up. Extend up through the spine, left hand comes up and over, comes down towards the floor, reaching up with the right hand, and again stretching over towards the left side, opening up the right side of the body. Inhale up, extend through the spine, exhale, lowering the right arm down, lifting up with the left, stretching over towards the right, opening up the left side of the body, exhaling all the way out there. Inhale up, exhaling, left hand comes down, right hand comes over, stretching over, opening up the right side of the body. Inhale, raising up, right hand comes up and then down, left hand comes up and over, reaching towards the right, opening up the left side of the body. Exhale. One more, either side. Inhale up, right hand coming over, left hand in support. Stretch, exhale, open up the right side of the body, reach up through the spine, right hand comes down, left hand reaches over, final stretch, exhale, and stretch up, extend through the spine, both hands placed down by the side of the body, relax the shoulders, gentle relaxation. And we're just going to take a little spinal twist here. So just to bring a little bit of movement in, we're going to turn the palms up, inhale up. And then as we exhale, right hand comes to the left knee, left hand reaches behind, and we turn and twist towards the left side to look over the left shoulder. Lengthen through the spine, use the back of the left knee as the point of fulcrum to increase the twist. Breathing easy. Inhale, raise both arms up. And now bring the left hand to the right knee, reaching behind with the right hand. Twisting to the right, looking over the right shoulder. Again using the left arm and wrist against the right knee as the fulcrum. Increase the twist, lengthen through the spine, look over to the right shoulder, breathe easy. Inhale, turning round, arms up. Exhale, bring the arms down through the centre of the body, hands, palms facing down, and they can just come to rest again on the knees. Just pausing here for a moment. So, in order to keep this session to 16 minutes long, we're going to hold there in terms of our physical postures, and mainly just concentrating on the spine. So what I'd like you to do now is we're just going to do a little purification breath. So you're going to inhale through the nose and then make like a pinhole with the lips, and we're going to exhale very slowly all the air out. So we inhale through the nose and then we go one more. We'll do one more, and this time as you're exhaling, gently pulling that belly button towards the spine, really engaging the diaphragm to complete the exhalation. Breathing in through the nose. Pausing for a moment, and I'm inviting you now to feel into the location that you were able to identify as your location of your racialized trauma wound. Come back to the sensation which is also there in that particular location. And what I'd like you to do is bring our palms together. And we're going to raise some chi, some sekhem, some prana. So concentrate on the palms. Feel the generation of heat. Have a sense of directing any sekhem, prana, shakti that we have cultivated through our short embodied asana practice. And then when you're ready, placing those palms either directly onto the area where you've identified your wound, wherever that might be. And if it's in a part of the body that you can't place your hands, so if it's in part of the back body, you can place your hands on the adjacent part, so the front part of the body, in the area where that wound is, but you might not be able to get your hands to. And then just come to the breath. Come to the sensation of the palms of the hands directed to this area. With each inhalation, just have a sense of releasing the prana shakti from the palms of the hands into the area you identified as the area of your trauma wound. As you exhale, just have a sense of that area receiving the prana shakti, the life force energy, the vitality. If you choose, you can visualize this as a light force emanating from the hands and completely saturating that area in the body. If you like, you can also lie down and do this. Again, maybe onto your back, but with the soles of your feet still placed on the floor, so the knees are up. Focusing through the breath, through the placement of the palms of the hands, and or through a visualization, focusing the energy, the vital force into the area of racialized traumatic wounding. Breath, vital force, unified. Inhalation, you direct into the point. Exhalation, you have a sense of pure saturation. So while we're quiet now for a few minutes, just as you focus on your area, tending the wound of racialized trauma. Be fully present. If your heart-mind draws your attention away from the practice and you notice this, and just bring the attention fully back into tending the wound of racialized trauma, and remain steady and still in the practice. Remember, you've set the intention to be awake and attentive to your practice and your experience. And that includes noticing when your attention moves away from the desired area and the desired practice that you're doing. and gently allowing this to dissolve now. If you lay on your back, and you might want to just bring the knees in towards the chest and the tummy. Just give yourself a little gentle rock and roll, side to side, back and forth. And finding your way up onto the knees if that's comfortable for you. Just pausing again. Very often in our practices, at the very beginning, we'll also invoke the ancestors. And it's important to acknowledge and recognize that when we're doing this work, that our work has an impact both on our ancestral lineage, and it's laying the foundations for the future generations. And I would just like to bring a close using the Kemetic archetype posture. Asana Dejdu. So we open our arms, we make Kemetic fists, so we close the fingers in, we place the thumb on top, and we bring the right fist to the left, just above the left chest, and we bring the left foot across the right arm to the right chest. And then we're going to inhale, raising up, curl the toes underneath, sit back. You're in the posture of the pillar. Steadiness, steadfastness, acknowledging our commitment to tend our wounds, to build resilience, and offer our practice to the benefit of all beings, both past and those to come, and across all dimensions. To the seen and the yet to be seen, and to the always unseen. Inhale, raise the arms up, cross over, exhale, palms facing down, away, slowly bring the arms down, raise up, relax the toes, come back down. Thank you for joining me for maybe your first practice in tending the wounds of racialized trauma. BlackBodyHeart-MindYoga. Stay blessed, and hopefully see you in the next video.